Hey Aries, this is Alex Angel, and I am here with your second half of February 2020 Angel and Tarot card reading. I hope you guys are doing well. I apologize because I know the last couple of videos that I did for Aries were, kind of skinny, right? I hope that's okay. I hope that's still politically correct to say. But I know they weren't long videos, and what usually happens is I do Aries first. So, it's kind of like the test run or the first run, and then when I get going, I get more talkative, I get more information, so other videos wind up being longer. So for that, I apologize, but I am making it up to you here today by giving you a bit of an extended reading. I have placed out so far one row of tarot cards. For this month, I am using my Arcanum deck as the primary, and then I will be clarifying with my Deviant Moon, which you guys know I love. So far what I'm getting, believe it or not, Aries, is emotion. You might have set yourself up into a fort. I kind of feel like there is some strong feminine figure in your life who's had you guys like in your feelings. Some of you could be feeling a little abandoned, a kind of little left out, related to whatever the situation was with this particular female. And you've kind of hunkered down and, kind of went into self-preservation mode. But I am here to tell you that you are absolutely able to move freely again. And not only that, but what I'm also hearing too is with full support. So if you were dealing, say, for instance, with somebody who kind of pulled their support back or, kind of left you hanging momentarily, not only is a person back, but they're back in spades. Okay. So you guys are able to kind of, again, move freely, move on with whatever it is that you were doing. So instead of sitting here and, kind of wasting time, interpreting the cards or, coming up with certain things, we'll just go ahead and get started. Okay. The first primary that came up is the Eight of Cups. That's that cup of momentarily turning your back on a deeply emotional situation, to pause. Angels are saying to me, it's that self-preservation. So it's almost like you took a step back, you kind of let this person maybe wig out a little bit. The angels are saying you kind of disconnected your feelings, so you weren't kind of quote unquote dragged into a situation or this situation with them. What I'm also hearing too is that this actually worked out for you. The Three of Wands, again, that's you guys basically kind of not necessarily knowing how long is this going to last? Is this person going to get their shit together and come back? Is this situation going to be okay eventually? The situation has not lasted long. The person did get their shit together and it's actually over. Okay, so those are kind of like the answers of, what do I do? What's going to happen next? What's going on with this person? Okay, so those are your first placement. The next card up is the Seven of Cups, along with the Seven of Swords. Look at that. It's almost like that person is, kind of doing it to themselves, kind of like shooting themselves in the foot, right? This is somebody who, will kind of cut their nose off to spite their face. So this, to me, I kind of applaud you, Aries, because what I'm getting intuitively is that instead of, say, for instance, you doing this to yourself, or you even kind of going after that particular person, you kind of, just kind of sat back, weighed your options. You didn't necessarily know what was going on. I kind of feel like this is you looking at the situation, understanding that the situation had high emotions, right? First we had the Eight of Cups, and then we moved over into the Seven of Cups. So it was almost like you kind of allowed the emotions to kind of de-escalate instead of getting in there and adding your own level of crazy to the situation. And again, Aries, I absolutely 1,000,000% applaud you for that, because You guys definitely are the sign where you kind of go from 0 to 100 real quick, as the song says. So I applaud you for, kind of stepping back and, kind of letting the situation kind of work itself out, right? The next card up is the Six of Cups, okay? Coupled with the Queen of Pentacles, okay? Six of Cups is nostalgia, the way it used to be, the way it was, past loves, past situations, past relationships. By the way, FYI, we are quickly heading into a Mercury retrograde period. Mercury will be retrograde from February 18th to March 9th. So I kind of feel like for you, Aries, this is going to be a period of nostalgia, right? Kind of looking back on the good old times. You may kind of go back and dig up a couple of old friends, kind of reconnect with a couple of old friends and maybe old people that you used to talk to, you used to reach out to, and you used to be close with. What I'm also getting to is that I kind of feel like there'll be a couple, say for instance, that you'll kind of quote unquote dig up. And when you do, it's just going to put you in this beautiful, childlike, kind of safe and protected and, happy place, which is somewhere I kind of feel like maybe you haven't been in a while, right? The Queen of Pentacles, she's the mama of value, right? I don't necessarily know. Parts of me kind of wants to say, this is this female who you were involved with. Again, I kind of feel like maybe she was a breadwinner, head of household or something of that nature, your boss, your mother, or someone like that. It's almost like she has returned or is returning to her place on the throne, okay? What I'm also getting too, for a lot of you, this could be your wife as well. So you could have had, say, for instance, an ordeal, wife, girlfriend, fiance. And again, it works also in the masculine as well. Whoever is the feminine in the relationship, whoever kind of takes on this role. It kind of feels as though, she's kind of leveled out. She's back in that placement. What I'm also getting to is that for some of you, there could be some sort of, I hate the word dependency and codependence because it's really overused, but I do kind of feel like there is a very, very, very strong attachment with this particular female. She has high value and, with her, say, for instance, have leveled out, everything is going great. You guys, the peace has returned. It's almost like now you can kind of get back into that safe, comforting, warm feeling of security, believe it or not, right? What I'm also being directed to tell you guys is that if this was a woman in your past, you could reconnect with this woman, right? So, for those of you, as an example, who were married and then got divorced, and this person is symbolizing, your ex, look for that person to, say, for instance, make a reappearance during this Mercury retrograde period. If they do not make a reappearance, again, this is maybe you guys kind of thinking about them, wanting to connect with them, wanting to kind of reach out and rekindle, something that you've had in the past. The beautiful Empress, the Queen of Queens, the mother of all mothers. The Empress, of course, usually refers to pregnancy. She's head of our queendom, right? She starts and ends civilizations. I don't want to say end civilizations, but she kind of starts generation line. She's the queen matriarch, right? I kind of feel like what angels are saying to me, again, this to me sounds like in the context of a relationship. So for some of you, you can now start to look to find, say, for instance, this person as an ideal mate for you. For a lot of you too, this could be, say, for instance, you coming to grips with yourself and that, what, I actually do think I want to give a relationship a try. I do believe that I can find this person. I'm now comfortable with wanting this person. I believe that the person for me is a person, kind of with these main characteristics and traits. And boom, the Hierophant, right? The Hierophant is the preacher. The Hierophant is the priest. The Hierophant is, you know, the person who marries you guys, right? The Hierophant is also, you know, institutional thinking and, you know, dogma and, you know, history and historical doctrines. And it's just kind of like the institution of things. So when you pair together, right, the Empress and the two institution and the, you know, high religious, you know, kind of quote unquote king or major advisor, this says to me marriage, right? Do you want to get married, Aries? Are you now, and have you now realized that, holy shit, I'm marriage material? Or holy shit, I would like to become married. Holy shit, I think I'm gonna ask my girlfriend to marry me. I kind of feel like, again, with whatever this was, whatever this turmoil was that just kind of passed, it's almost like as it passed, it kind of cleared away the idea or notion that, hey, oh, you know, the rest of my life, and what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And, you know, I want to start thinking about the rest of my life. So good job, Aries. And this is kind of weird, especially for you Arians, because I kind of see you guys as being very, very, very strong, very powerful, but very also in the right now, right? You guys are kind of like in the present, you know, your feet are on the ground, you're looking forward, you know, your head is clear. I don't really see you guys, say for instance, as, I'm not saying this for, you know, for every Aries, and I'm not saying this generalistic or generally, but I kind of feel like for now, again, in this Mercury retrograde period, that you guys are now starting to think long term, right? Not only that, but I'm also kind of getting to that you're kind of bored maybe because everything may be going well, or you've tackled what you need to tackle. You fought the wars and won the wars that you need to fight, or that you needed to fight. And now it's just like, oh, what do I do? What's next? Okay, well, I think I'm going to go get a girlfriend or a wife. I think I'm ready to maybe settle down, have a kid or two, and, you know, kind of move into this next phase of my life. And if that's you, if this is your situation, that's freaking awesome. Like, congratulations. Okay? Last cards in the spread are the Four of Swords and then also the Hanged Man. You know, Four of Swords is, again, you kind of taking out, chilling out, taking some time to yourself, you know, kind of mulling over, really past relationships. Not necessarily past intimate relationships only, but just how you relate to people in general, right? But looking over past relationships, you know, kind of maybe doing some self-evaluation, you know, trying to figure out what worked and what didn't work, and who you were and who you are and who you want to be in relationships. And then kind of, I don't feel like, again, I don't feel like, say for instance, there's this plan of action. I really do feel like you guys are in this current state of, hey, what's that over there? Okay, that's the future. So it's almost like this is very, very, very new, and you are just starting, say for instance, to explore long-term options. I'm also being told to tell you guys that long-term is whatever you want it to be. Okay, because in this universe, you know, nothing lasts forever. I don't even know what forever means, because you have forever human, then you have forever energy. And, you know, it's best to just be like, you know what, it is whatever you make it out to be. Okay, now you're in this state of mind, you're in this state of being like, okay, let me start kind of clearing stuff out and clearing some clutter. When I move forward, what do I need to do? Okay, you know what? I used to have this particular idea of what I wanted, how I wanted my life to be, and what relationships were in that, right? But perhaps I may need to take a different approach. I may need to look at this from a different angle, okay? That's where the Hanged Man comes in, right? Now, Hanged Man also represents suspension, right? Like you're stuck. You don't know which way to do, where to go, what to do, or anything like that. Which, again, I kind of feel like, Aries, for those of you that this video is resonating with, it's almost like, okay, well, I know I'm about to take one step. What step am I going to take? Am I going to take the same steps that I used to take? Or am I going to try something brand spanking new? Angels and universe are like, take whatever you want to take. What I'm also getting too, this could be scary for some of you, right? Because it's almost like take a blind approach, right? As humans, all we need to do is put one foot in front of the other. The universe handles the rest, okay? Now, to an Aries, that may freak you guys out because it's like, no, my steps have to be controlled. I have to know what they are. I even have to know where the hell I'm going or where I'm standing currently, right? Now, with the Hanged Man, right, in that particular suspension, what you could do, right, this is just advice, what you could do is just kind of get into that mode of, okay, let me just put one step in front of the other. Let me just see. Let me just see. It's almost like that blind faith, right? Not necessarily knowing what's going to happen or where you're going or where you're headed, but kind of living by faith and allowing the universe to guide your steps. It's an option, okay? It's an option. And I will tell you that I kind of practice that very regularly. I mean, it's to the point now where the universe is like speed up, you know, to an extent because I'm so good at it, right? But enough about me. This is all about you, Aries. So again, for those of you as an example who could be kind of quote unquote in a rut, you're tired of the same things going on. You're tired of the same outcomes. You're tired of defeating the same kinds of wars. You could do something differently and again, start with putting your feet forward, putting your foot forward and just keep doing that and see what happens, right? That's kind of represented here at the bottom of the deck, the Knight of Pentacles, right? That's a knight that says there's offer, there's opportunity coming up, okay? The Knight is very slow, okay? So yeah, so if you're going to say, for instance, take the advice and just start moving and just take on like a wait and see attitude, you're going to do it very slowly, right? But this is kind of saying to you, guess what? You do it and it works out for you. It works out in your favor. You're slow, you're unrelenting, but you are kind of moving forward. And see that big old coin that he has in his hands? That will be yours, Aries. Okay. This also is at the bottom of the deck, of the Deviant Moon deck. And there you go, that double Empress. I don't feel, you know, for those of you who could be cross watchers, I don't feel this is two women, right? I kind of feel like this is mom and sister. This is mom and wife. This is wife and daughter. This is two very powerful females in your life that I do kind of feel like, again, you guys are slowly but surely moving towards. So it absolutely does feel like, Aries, you are now more comfortable with the idea that you want to move in a forever after situation. And the universe is giving you all green lights. So proceed on, proceed with full faith, proceed on with the idea that you will be met with difference, right? Stuff that is different. And you know, if you guys are anything like me, I'd be like, well, Alex, is this a good difference or is this a bad difference? Because just because it's different don't mean that it's good. This is a good difference. Not only that, but what I'm also getting to is that you're going to be challenged, right? Because, you know, Aries, you love a challenge. Okay. And that challenge is how comfortable are you doing this? You are a very freaking strong and powerful warrior, right? But can you move in blind faith as this powerful warrior? It's going to bring out a lot of your weaknesses, okay? The weakness of fear, as an example, the weakness of doubt, the weakness of uncertainty, the weakness of mistrust, okay? So it's almost like during this Mercury retrograde period, or whenever this video, you know, resonates with you, it's all about blind faith and blind trust and paying attention to yourself and who you are during these trials, right? And by the way, you're going to make it through anything. You absolutely are. I mean, you know, the spirits inside of us not almost guarantees us, but guarantees it. I mean, just think about everything that you've gone through up until this point. You've made it through all of that stuff. So this stuff is no different. Okay. So challenge on, you know, challenge extended, Aries. Will you accept it? Okay. What I'm also doing is pulling an energy oracle card, and I was just shuffling, and this card came up for you guys. It actually fell out of the deck, and it's the Door of Value. And I just kind of feel like, you know, there is a lot more value out there for you guys when, again, you decide, say, for instance, to go this different route, right? That's one thing. The other thing as well is that you learn about the value that lives within, right? So to an extent, it's almost like, you know, I'm a strong warrior. I'm like 36 million and zero, right? 36 million victories and zero losses, right? Now you would assume, yeah, you know, if I was a promoter promoting that fight, you know, I'm gonna get some money for that, because everybody's gonna want to see if that person you're fighting against can give you that one loss, right? Now, as a part of that preparation and your training and everything, you start to learn why you got to 36 million, right? Why you got to all of those victories, right? But also, as a part of that, you also learn about that zero, right? Like, what is it about me that caused me not to go down when I should have gone down? What was it about me that had the heart that kept going, right? So again, in this uncertainty, that zero, right? You might not have known defeat. I mean, as a human, we all know what defeat is. We all know what despair is, right? But again, as this warrior, whatever this weakness side of you, or the, you know, the fearful side, the fear of that first loss, right? Whatever that fear, or again, that opposite, that recessive side of you is, you learn about the value and what is inside of you, right? That has caused you to last this long or to be this victorious, right? For a long time, you probably thought, oh, well, no, it was brute and it was strength and it was, you know, I'm smart and I went to school and I got this certification and this, right? But I just kind of feel like with this Mercury retrograde period, you know, this period of self-reflection, you're kind of gonna go within and learn about, you know, what really ticks and what it really is about you that makes you you. And then again, when you step into the future and start looking towards your future, now you're going to want people to be compatible with the inner you and that value inside of you, versus, again, that brute warrior who could just kick ass and, you know, not even worry about like any kind of defeat. Okay. So I know that was a little confusing towards the end, but I hope that helps, because it's an amazing message, because it's almost like, you know, like you're this big warrior and then you start learning that, holy shit, I'm human too. And you start learning about how being human is exceptionally valuable. And not only that, but going forward, you're going to want to relate and connect to more humans, not just opponents. That's what angels are saying to me too, because I kind of feel like, to an extent, Aries, that's how you approach life sometimes, is that, you know, it's a battle. Okay, this next project, you know, figuring out what I want to eat for lunch, right? You know, it's almost like you see that as a battle. It's a, you know, kind of a tug of war. And when you finally get what it is that you want, you become the victor. Okay. Now, of course, you go through other things that are more complex. I just use that as a simple example, but you kind of get what I'm saying. You get the gist of it. Okay. So anyway, I hope that helps. And again, I apologize for your previous videos that were short. Hopefully this makes up for it. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And God willing, I will see you guys for the March videos as well. Take care, Aries.